way to make my chili is in my Dutch oven. So this is, if you've never seen something like this, it's basically like a stone. It would be similar to a cast iron skillet, but it is a big pot and it has a really heavy lid. The whole thing is pretty heavy. I've had this one for a pretty long time, and I have about 1.5 pounds of meat in here. I just took a 3-pound block and like split it in half, but you could put 2 pounds in easily. It's just ground beef, and then I put the lid on. Basically what this does is it's similar to a slow cooker. So you really could use this like a slow cooker. You could put a roast in it, put it on low on the stove, and just let it really cook low. So that's why I like to make my chili in here, because it kind of gives it the taste that it's been sitting cooking a long time when it really hasn't. Something about the way that it keeps the heat inside does a great job of that. So I've got this on. I just threw it in there, didn't put anything else in there, and I'll show you what I'm going to work on while this is getting cooked up. So one of the things I really like to put in my chili as a base, since I'm not using beans, is riced cauliflower. So that is what's in this bag. So I'm going to be putting this in, and then I also love to use bell peppers. I just think they're so sweet and delicious in chili. So I've got 3 bell peppers. I don't know if I'll use all of them. I'll kind of cut them up and put them in one at a time, see how it goes. I need to wash them. And then I also have an onion. And sometimes I've even done a bigger onion than this. Like I said, it's not exact measurements, but you're getting the idea. And then I have some diced tomatoes and then some tomato sauce. So I'm gonna get all of this. I'm gonna get these diced up and the onion diced up. Until then, the meat should be probably kind of close to being done. And then I put this stuff in with the meat once it's like almost browned, and start cooking the veggies. And as they soften, then I add in like the sauce and the tomatoes and the spices. We'll get there. Once you see the onions start to get a little bit clear, means that they're getting cooked through. You're gonna let this simmer when you're all done mixing everything together, but I just like to make sure that stuff is like mostly cooked till I put the tomato product in. So I'm gonna be putting the tomato stuff I showed you a little bit ago, and then also some chili powder, some onion powder, some cumin and garlic. And to be quite honest with you, I shake it in as I go. I just kind of know and taste as I go and figure it out from there. Also some salt, and then if I want it to be a little bit of a sweeter chili, I'll add in some stevia. I'm probably just gonna let it be today instead of doing the sweeter chili. And then the other thing I throw in is the riced cauliflower, but you don't really want to do that until you add the tomato products, just because it already is kind of like, it cooks up really fast. You wouldn't really want to add that into what's going on now.
You think that I should calm down, and that I'm overthinking everything about you, and that we're good the way we are. But I don't know that much but you don't. It's not that long since I met you for the first time. You know we should work it out. You know we should work it out. Before I'm too invested, I should probably ask you all my questions, get to know you better. Like, can you be trusted? Will you take me for granted? Will you let me down?
All right, so I didn't even have to add any water to this. It had enough liquid in it, and my girls always love these. We've been out of them for a while, so they're gonna be so excited when they wake up from their naps and see that I've made a bunch of them. So these are the bags. I hope you can see them. They're a little hard to see on camera, but they're the kind of like a long skinny Ziploc bag. And then I take a funnel, and this does come with a funnel. I use a little bit of a different one that I have, but it does come with a funnel, and then you just fill it up. And I have put yogurt in these. If you guys go back through my meal prep videos, you will see that I've put a lot of different things in these, and they're just a really great way to get a lot of nutrients into your kids, and they don't really think about it because they already, you know, love ice pops, and it's something that they want to eat. So
You let me down. Before I'm too invested, we should take it easy. Maybe we could test this and work out our feelings. Maybe
So it's actually the next afternoon. I decided to film this over 2 afternoons just while my girls were taking naps. It's a little bit easier for me to get stuff done, obviously, whenever they're sleeping. So I'm going to be doing some French toast in the air fryer. So I got some gluten-free bread from Aldi here, and I have eggs, milk, heavy cream, cinnamon, sugar, and then some vanilla. I'm gonna link the recipe I'm using below, but I think I'm gonna go about it a little different way. I'm gonna mix the eggs, vanilla, milk, and heavy cream together, and then flip the bread in that, and then I think I'm gonna make a mixture with the cinnamon sugar to put on top right before I put it in the air fryer. So I'm gonna test it out, and you guys can see the result. I think it's gonna turn out well. Obviously, the more traditional French toast would be with like Texas toast style bread, the thicker bread, but since we have some gluten sensitivity and I try to do things that are gluten-free, we are going to try out this bread. I've never done this before, so we'll see how it goes. While I'm working on putting the French toast sticks in, and by the way, I'm trying out individual sticks. I think it'll work out good that way. I may end up just putting whole slices in, but I actually think I can get more in the air fryer when they're cut before they're fried. So, gonna see how that works out. Now I'm going to make something that I've actually made before, and this is a really great alternative to the packets of oatmeal that a lot of us use that you can heat up really quickly. So I have these muffin silicone liners. They are from Amazon, and what I do, there's a recipe for this, I will link below, but this is my own version of it, I guess, if you want to say it that way. You have to use quick oats just because the rolled oats dry out a little easier, and this reheats a little bit better than the whole oats. So we're using some quick oats, and then what you do is you cook it up. I have some milk here, and then she suggests using brown sugar in the recipe, but I like to use this pure stevia sweetener just so that they're not getting all the sugar, which is kind of, put them into these, and you top it with fruit. The girls like some shredded coconut, that kind of thing. And then I put them in the freezer, let them freeze the whole way through, and then you can just pop them out and keep them in a container. And all you gotta do is grab out the cup, throw it into a little bowl, and warm it up in the microwave, or you know, whatever you want to heat or stuff in. And it's a really fast way to have oatmeal. The last time I made these, the girls really raved about them, and I think it's definitely one of their favorite breakfasts. It's taken a little bit of experimenting to figure this out. So I started doing them in 3, like 1 piece, since they're a larger piece of bread. I did them in 3 strips, and this was my first batch. They were a little bit too dark. So this is my second batch, and now this is my third batch. And I'd say that they're looking really good, really great to reheat. You don't want to overdo them because you will heat them again whenever you get them out of the freezer. But I think it's going well, and what I'm doing is the first side, I'm doing 4 minutes at 375, and then I flip them over and I do them 3 minutes, and then they're done. The next thing that we're gonna make is some chicken patties. I've actually been wanting to try this out for a while just because I feel like it's a super rounded meal idea, lunch idea for kids. So I've got 2 chicken breasts in here. I just cut them in half. I put about a cup of water in. So I'm gonna put those in my pressure cooker, cook them up. You could cook them any way you want. You could put them in your oven, fry them on the stove, whatever, but you do want the chicken to be able to kind of shred. So I find that doing it in my pressure cooker makes them soft, and I can kind of shred them up, and they'll go into the patties really easily. And then I'm going to be putting some of these just quick mixed vegetables into this pot and cooking them up. These are going to be my veggies that are going to go into the patties. So this is a cup of these veggies. It's 2 chicken breasts, and then I'm gonna be putting in a cup of this gluten-free flour. You could use regular flour, you could use a keto flour mix, whatever you want. I've never tried this before, but it's kind of convenient. They come in individual packages of 1 cup. So you can keep them for a long time and they'll stay fresh. And I'm gonna put in about 4 eggs, and then I'm gonna put some dill weed, some salt, and some onion powder. We're gonna try out that consistency. Like I said, this is my own recipe. I'm kind of coming up with it as I go. So I'm gonna mix it all up and then see how it seems. If it's a little bit runny, I might have to add in a little bit more flour, but we'll see how they go. All right, so this ended up being a really great consistency. I'm super happy with it. So I'm going to put some olive oil in the pan, and then I think I'm gonna try using a cookie scoop to scoop them in and then kind of flatten them out. So they're gonna be really small, I would say like pretty bite size, but I want them to be finger food size so that the girls can easily eat them. So we're gonna try this out. And if for some reason they're not cooking through or something like that, I may add another egg. I actually think that they're a little bit thicker. The batter, or whatever you want to call this, is a little thicker than I expected it to be, but I think it's gonna work out. These turned out so delicious. The girls really enjoyed them and I enjoyed them myself. I definitely think I can do different variations of them, and they're so healthy and just a great lunch option. I hope that this video inspired you guys. Don't forget